I have another great question for you. Yeah, that's the target to the right. So, what's the value of any stationary object that is actually receiving any type of radiation more so? Because does not the sun emit radiation to an extent or frequency, or I believe it's a radiation that is actually imposed upon us, but either way, because it actually has to go through the atmosphere to get to us and still project itself with quote unquote friction, which gives us heat. So what's the value of every stationary light post that literally could just be, how can I say, have a lower value bulb but a wide value output? Great question. We actually reduce power consumption in which we manifest it, yes, and then two, we actually are quote unquote calling ourselves a mini microgrid, because if it were to go out, at least it'll relay itself to its host and let it know that what? We have an issue with a light outage. Great thing? Of course. Because in this case, we actually start saving money more frequently and actually what? Reduce energy consumption, because how many people need jobs right now and literally don't even know where to begin? How many people get up every morning and literally just sit there and think like, what am I going to do today? But what is today? Today for me is Sunday, but in a different country, maybe Monday or Saturday. Or even further, depending on if you're, how can I say, in a coma, or how can I say, in the womb. So, how do you define it? I don't know. But we still have the old-fashioned, quote-unquote, what do you call it? Traffic light. But yet still, we wonder why we're able, or people are able to actually access it through a city grid. But how do they actually figure out how to do that? They're bored. So, what do you do with, what else is stationary? I don't know. Some people like to, quote unquote, go to tanning beds. Yeah, but where do they get the power from? Great question, but they're driving Ferraris and what? McLarens? Interesting, right? But I think I just saw that. Where did I see that? It was on, let me think. I think I saw it on the other side of this building, up the block somewhere. And literally, why would you be driving that car with knowing that you're getting royal shit gas? Great question. Who's your gas provider? So literally, we can all go there and figure out where the hell you get your gas from, because literally, it gotta be clean as shit for that engine. But I guess we'll paint that picture in a different magnitude when literally we don't even understand the value of what satellite TV is still, and why we still use direct TV more so. But what is direct TV when we actually have a cloudy day or it's raining highly bad and we can't receive the quote unquote frequency accordingly? I couldn't even fathom that one, but maybe direct TV has something better to look forward to instead of actually obsoleting itself, because certain people get sun all day but literally have no means of communication in other countries. But what are you violating? What, proprietary information? But where is it going now? You're basically losing money trying to figure out how to basically keep employees employed, and what? Your market going, right? Great question. So, how many people still believe that we still are energy efficient with the local transportation system? Because Biden did say it's billions of dollars that literally we're relocating and redirecting. But I just affirmed the dollar more so, because literally everybody should be liquidating that $1 million account and having multiple FDIC accounts below the limits with 3/4 potentially in it. Just because of the fact that literally, that's why we're still at a small percentage of savings, just because of the fact that literally that one account or that one bank entity may have hundreds of millions of dollars, but yet still it can't hold on to that one number just because of the fact that literally we can only FDIC insure you to that what? Minute amount, and then we constantly have to basically prevent from people basically, how can I say, modifying the way the dollar is presented. Why? People are hungry and being bored. Great question, right? So now we're actually up to the point to where people are using cell phones for transportation. I don't know about that, because literally, with this Samsung Pay and all that other stuff, that's a whole different ballgame that I'm really not ready to open up the door yet to. Honestly. I don't recommend, quote-unquote, obsoleting the plastic card, but what is a, quote-unquote, USB drive or anything of that nature? Encryption and firmware? True, but literally, what are you doing with it? What is a CD disc doing with it? Is it not delivering, what, a lens? Why not basically create a small little CD and just round it off and just use it as a tap feature? It's plastic and it's still using metal, just like your phone, but literally you're removing your quote-unquote banking information off of what? Do you not check your banking institute? But literally, you make your bank have to work 10 times harder to make sure that nobody steals your funds when you log into your account. That's a different angle of perception that literally someone is potentially experimenting or basically trying to figure out how to beat right now. So, I'm not knocking at who's actually using it. No, what I'm saying is you just might want a second line in which basically you don't have or access what? Personal information potentially that literally is going to get you in trouble. The long way, the long runway. Because literally, all it takes is one little jump signal to move money. What's a telephone call on the cell phone? A jump signal from tower to tower, right? You figure that one out now.